My company is Black Series Edition LLC with gunmetal crystal edge technology screens. So last time we tested this surface, and mind you, it's not going to be a screen paint. That's why I put down physical screen. This is going to be a physical projection screen that we're going to be having hopefully launched in 2024. We got plenty of time to do plenty of tests and upgrades and everything we need on it. So I like to do my tests on my 1,000 lumen projectors. As I told you before, this is the reason why we have so many projectors, because I don't like doing the same demonstration over and over and over again on the same projector, because this doesn't help at all, period. You have to see how the projector is going to, how the product is going to work in different variants of projectors. Let me get this. I got background music playing on this side and a commercial popped up. There we go. Get back to my background music. All right, so we're at 1,000 lumens. We're on a 720p projector, 600 by 800 res. We got Mr. Taco in the window, and we're up early in the morning. All right, so this is my projector we're using for our test demonstration. Sony VPL cs4. This is one we call Old Faithful right there. And there is the glass technology we're working on right now. Now, our goal is for this technology is to have a projection screen that can physically replace a TV. People that I'm signing this contract with got a call from them yesterday, update on what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be working at, and we informed them what we are working on, and they are crazy excited over this. This is a game changer. This is going to make anyone connected to this technology extremely rich. I'm not really worried about that, but we're going to have investors aplenty, and they are lining it up already. This is going to change a lot. So our goal is to get a 720p projector to be able to take on a 4K OLED. And I mean, not talking about a new 720p projector, I'm talking about an old model. Now already, from what I've seen already from our test results, we have a 1080p monitor in the demonstrations. We have a 720p projector set at its lowest settings, and it still is able to compete with a 1080p screen. I do want to get a much bigger screen on top of that. But as you can see, we're pretty much already halfway there. We can accomplish this with no problem whatsoever. All right, had a fire stick on me somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I put it at. Oh, man. Where's the fire stick? I literally just had one in my hand. I had it right here. Let me go on my hand. They're exactly where I put the fire stick. Probably put it in one of the weirdest places I could possibly think of. Oh, here it is, isn't it? So one of the demonstrations you have to do is another very important one. We do this on all our products to show our products can pick up at a minimum of 1,000 lumens. I think we can go much lower than this. And one of the things when you do this demonstration, it has to be done with a white wall backing behind it, because you have to show the difference between the white wall and the screen. Majority of the screens that we're going to be bumping into, we do online or offline, are not going to be gray screens. They're going to be white screens. The majority of anybody just buys a white screen. So you have to show the difference between the two. And it has to be a huge, massive difference, as you can see, at 1,000 lumens. All right, so let's get our color changer in here. Color changer. I've done this so many times, I know exactly what I want. Look how beautiful the image there on the glass versus the white wall. Okay, over here, I'm bumping into the back of my bag over here. We get our color changer to pop in, or they're gonna make us go through everything. All right, so we're gonna go through a color changer. This right here is going to bring it up because I got a smaller screen here. This is going to change out the color at will. This gives us an idea. Now mind you, this technology is at 50% done. So we're not even anywhere near 100%. Sorry about that. But as you see the wall, it doesn't even match the color of what this technology pushes out. Let's go by solid color, red screen. White wall in there too. It's very important to get that white wall shot in there. All right. Free background music. We've got a lot of free commercials, you know. Pick up a visual. Mind your contrast levels are not even peaked yet. We're still at 50%. This is at 1,000 lumens. Mind you, we had a 4,000 projector. Dropped it all, just factory settings, beyond factory settings. See how bright the colors and vivid they are. This right here is a display on its own. We set this thing up in a showroom, just put this fire behind the back of it. 1,000 lumen projector we have over here. Yeah, this is gonna be the talk of the town. Because all the other screens in there that they're using in demonstrations in that environment have all these insane contrast levels, except for the eyewalk, they're only in there. And our projector has, I don't even think we have 100:1 contrast on this thing. LG jazz demonstration. So like I said, our goal that we're looking to do is, we already know we have the possibilities. We've done this with screen paints. Oh, that's the link I literally forgot to put in the demonstration. We have a link literally going against a TV. I'll remember to put the link in. So we've done it with TVs before. It's nothing new. This stuff is a little different. This stuff literally, our goal for this one, like when we're doing the TVs, it was just a TV. We could do an OLED, but OLED is a little different version of a technology. It's not your everyday TV. So for us to have this technology right here, can we take on an OLED? Oh, heck yes, we can. You have no idea how powerful this technology is. That's why we pulled it off the website. Because I didn't realize what I was staring at when I was looking at it. Then when I did another demonstration, like, oh, shoot, this can't be on the website. We pulled it off because it had applications that we can actually advance it to physical screens. Pointless just using it as a regular screen paint, technically. But anyway, our main goal is to get a 720p, not a brand new projector. I'm not using an old, Chrissy, one of these old beat up projectors over here, to knock out a 4K OLED. We achieved that, and then even this is from the investor's point of view. This technology alone already by itself is going to be worth a lot of money. But if we basically back up what we just said, that we can get this, you have any idea where this technology will head to? We'll have so many investors beating on our back door just to get a piece of this, it won't even be funny. We're talking about a projector and screen, or a screen that has the ability to make a 720p worthless projector look absolutely incredible. We're not talking about coming into a show with a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 unit. I'm talking about a machine that any Joe at the end of the day can afford. That's what we're talking about. And to be able to take our OLED technology with that, you know, cheap. Oh my goodness. At the end of the day, who would freaking go out and spend 4K for a projector? Who would need it? Who would spend 4K for an OLED TV? You could do it with this glass technology we have here, and you can do it with like a 720p projector. It changes the game. So that's why the investors are interested. For us, the screen paints are all going well. We're still going to make the Black Series, the dedicated Cinemax isn't going anywhere. But doing a physical screen is much easier, and I'll tell you why. When I was sitting in a doctor's office, I'm looking at the white screens they have in there. Sometimes to convince a company to paint over a screen, they don't want to do it. Some companies just don't want to do it. They'd rather just have a physical screen, put it in there and be done. That's it. So we make these in two different versions. Actually, they're going to be designing our own customized motorized projection screen, but we can't even tell you that. It's not going to be your everyday motorized projection screen, I can tell you that much. Like, I mean, anything you're used to looking at, it's going to be quite different. It's going to be wrapped around this technology. So I told you, in 2024, we've done all we could do with screen paints. We're done. There's nothing else we could do with a screen paint. Our next stage is physical screens. Our next stage is basically, I'm watching you, young man. Get your butt away from that. Get away from that. Why are you going to be a jerk at the end of the day? Move. Yeah, move. I don't want him rubbing against that and knocking over my screen. Taco, you hear me? What did I say? Get away from there. Don't be a jerk. For those who want to know what I'm talking about, that's the jerk. That's Taco. Getting in trouble. I don't want him rubbing his big head against the. That's not set up anything. It's set up against a speaker. That's it. So if he hits that and that falls over that glass, he'll shatter and hurt himself. But anyway, like I said, this is going to be a game changer, especially for those of you who have ultra short throw projectors. This thing is going to be a dreamboat for you because it's going to react just like a TV. Your ultra short throw can be used like a TV, like it was meant to be used. Instead of you being trapped in the dark, trying to figure out where your coffee table's at, because if you turn on your lights, your screen will wash out. Now, these people are able to push this technology where it needs to be at, then this would change the way projectors will be designed, because they'll see the new technology, which we're planning to get into some of those shows. And they'll see the new technology, and they'll see that a projector doesn't have to have a whopping insane amount of contrast because the screen is already black. This is going to drop the prices in your projectors. I'll show you. So yeah, I've done years and years on projection screen paints. I'm always looking to go outside the box, somewhere where you don't have to deal with the screen paints. It's been done in the death. I find another plateau. God gave me another plateau to work on. As I said before, when I was doing videos, I'm bored with house paint. We don't say house paint, screen paints. We're bored with it. I've done so many testing, so much testing on great products, on gunmetal products, on black technology. It's not even funny on how much testing we've done. Even in our test pages on our website, it's nothing compared to what we have on YouTube. We've done it to death. I'm bored of it. I'm really bored of screen paints. This gives me new vision to be able to take on a TV. I mean, before, I got into this field to even the playing field with high-end projection screens, and we've done it already. We've knocked out every certified. We've had companies contact us with their technology. We've done it already. The next stage is TV. What better challenge? And mind you, when you do a TV demonstration, and I gotta express this, I gotta put this in here. You can't be in a dark environment when doing this. TVs don't have to be in the dark. You have to be in the same environment as how a TV would function. I see people doing these demonstrations on their screens versus TVs, and they'll be in these dark environments, the same dark environment that a projector has to be in. And that's not good, because a TV doesn't have to be in that environment. A TV can see 100% contrast. If you can't see 100% contrast, then you don't have the technology to compete with a TV. You can't just skip that part altogether and say, oh, we don't need to add that in there. You need to add that in there. Some people don't like hearing that, but it's the truth. You have to be able to show that. So, LG beta fish. Okay. Can't skip it. Usually when we hit that pause to see if we can skip it, we can't skip it. Now, the projector will be advising you to use this technology. It's not going to be 1,000 lumens. This is just a test to see if we can run off of it. TV's going to be way brighter than 1,000 lumens. Majority, most of the people I see using this technology are people with ultra short throws. An ultra short throw projector is designed to give you that TV-like experience. So those are the people we see the most using this technology. Swap over to 50 lumens. Now, are we advising you use 50 to 1,000? No, it's not going to be in the specification sheet. I need to see this for myself, for what we're picking up on. Most likely, if you're going to be going next to a TV, you're going to have basic standard lumen counts that you would need on any other projector that they have for today's market. That's what you would need. But like I said, the most we see people utilizing this technology are ultra short throw. I don't see why not. I mean, basically the whole purpose of an ultra short throw projector is to give you a TV-like experience. The problem is you don't have the screen to get it. This technology will allow you to have that. And when I get my other house, this is what I'm planning to set up, all ultra short throws. I'm gonna probably have a few long throws in there, but majority of my setups are gonna be all ultra short throws. Why not? And yes, we're going to have a $200 NEC projector in the setup too also. But I won't be showing us off. I'm gonna have my own test facility pretty soon. I'll be doing that over there. You'll see that in my warehouse on my test shop. You'll get a chance to see that, but I won't be showing my house off. All right, let's see. This is yes, it looks dark, but guess what? It's only darker than that when we get done with it. That's nothing. It's not dark enough yet. Is it right, Taco? Curious, George. Now, all that time, you had that toy sitting right there in that one spot. You don't want to touch it. You don't even want to go near it. But the minute we put something over there of your interest, now you want to go over and mess with this joker. But I gotta know. I gotta know. Always gotta know. Always gotta know. See where this might be. Because we're gonna have this. Now, for those who may say, hey, is the table match? Yeah, the table matches. Guess what that table's coated in? That table's coated in that black technology. Because I had to do a demonstration for a tabletop display. So it's coated in it too. Let's go here. Too high. Let's see.
Just got a question from Ed in BC, Canada. And Ed wants to know if you can keep betas in a community tank. So you know what? We decided to cut a video on this subject because we get.
Now, do we expect the image to be super bright? No, it's a 50 lumen projector.
At Buffalo Wild Wings, promo-free traditional wings are back on Tuesdays. That's right.
All this stuff has to be tested, so we know exactly what we're dealing with. So if it ever comes up and it says, hey, can you use a 50 lumen projector? We can say, I wouldn't advise it. And if they say, why not? And we'll say, this is why we advise you not doing it. Now mind you, this 50 lumen projector is not name brand. This is an unnamed brand projector at 50 lumens. So we don't support unnamed brand projectors. But it's a lot better than some of the knockoffs I've seen. But it's still an unnamed brand projector. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'm not trying to make the image look good. We're not doing that. We're doing testing. When you do testing, if you're expecting to try to make the image look perfect all the time, it's not testing at all. So this is absolutely not going to work on basically any. It has to be on name brand only. It's better. Yeah, that's 50 lumens. So we have demonstrations on our channel of us testing our products on projectors that are unnamed brand. Because keep in mind, it's one of the cheapest selection of the glass screens. We're not doing the glass screens at 24 and so forth. That's just going to be pointless. We're going to keep them at 100 and up. The plastic ones, well, not plastic, the fiberglass, custom fiberglass molded will basically come at the gamer level at 24 and stuff like that. 24 and up. These are going to be at 100 inches and up. We decided to do it that way. It's much easier. And this is a $3,000 screen, and we get them at 100 inches. Do not use this with a fake or knockoff projector. It will not work. Yeah. The lights on. Nope. Oh, by the way, and I told you that portable projectors only use them on white wall. Not portable projectors. Knockoff projectors, they only use them on white walls. You'll never see a demonstration with a knockoff projector being used on a
Maybe it's technical keeping me healthy.
Sorry about that. Let me get rid of this commercial.
Better quality pet care for less human money. Get $10 off $40 at Pet.
You'll never see a knockoff projector being used on a gunmetal screen or any dark gray screens because they can't register on a dark gray screen. And I'll pick up. So let me see. I need to get my hands on a 3000 projector. We need 28. We need 3000. We do it from 2000 and up. That's what we'll go with. 2000 and up. I want to do a 2000. It's going to pull. Ultra short though projectors. Well, we got a 36. So let me see. What's the lowest I can find and lumen count on an ultra short throw? We don't want it for ultra short throw only, but majority of people are going to be using this are going to be ultra short throw. I guarantee you from the door. Because like I said, it's designed to turn at that TV experience. Guess what you're going to be using? Ultra short throw. Well, we do want to use the 720p model, so that way, cheaper ones, so customers don't think they had to spend all this money for expensive short throw. You can still use a 720p model. And with that, this is where we had to do a demonstration of a P2 versus a 720p model to prove that theory. So you just can't come up and just make up things as you go along. You have to prove every single thing that you say and do, because that's what the investors are going to be inspecting. People are going to partnerships are going to be inspecting. They can't advertise something that's not real, because this can get both parties in a lot of trouble. It'll get them sued, it'll get you sued, it'll be pretty bad. So you have to back it all up. All right, so let me see. Stuff. 1,000 lumens. So. I'll go back on this. What the freak is my power cord? You got power cords all over this place. Can't find one power unit. Oh, gee, what's all these? You going back with 5 points? You got it stuck on you there. You figure it out. All right. Run it down. Oh, I had a 2800 lumen. It was an Optima. Huh. What does that thing's cost now?
En Pizza Hut recibe más sabor por menos coralitas desglasadas a 75 centavos. Crujientes, fritas y mezcladas.
Same thing. Red screen.
Getting that to YouTube.
Oh, we got red screen right here. We're at 43. 43, 0 settings. Let's see. How about it? Okay, let's see. Oh, shit, why should we, what are you doing? And why are we got on here? surface there, and a white surface there. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Purple screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Purple screen. Give me purple. Thank you. Screen. Give me green. Basic color crest. Green. Screen. That one's very nice. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, it's getting there. Very nice. Now keep in mind, we started off with gray screen paints. That's what we started off with. We don't make them anymore because there's nothing we can do with them at all, period. There's no application. There's nothing I can do with a gray screen at all. Won't work in any of the new 4 elements. Doesn't work with element 77. You can't see the contrast level. That's one of the biggest problems we have. It just can't see black. And that's extremely important. If I'm developing a technology to take out an OLED TV, a gray screen is the worst thing. Gunmetal is even the worst thing I want to use. I have to have a screen that's absolute black to do it. And it's going to have to be to read white levels like there's no tomorrow. Because the TV is not going to have that issue. You're not dealing with a projector at the end of the day. You're dealing with a TV. It doesn't have any of those flaws that projection setups have at the end of the day. They can run in fully lit environments. They produce 100% contrast. They produce beautiful colors. It's a flawless piece of equipment. So this is why I'm baffled when I watch demonstrations of people, and not just one person, I've actually seen some professionals do it too. Take a TV and stick it in the same environment as a projector. A TV should never be in the same environment as a projector. It should be in its own environment, which is a well-lit environment, because that's where TVs dwell, not projection screens. The first downfall of any projection screen, I'm not talking about one, anybody, is you have to, number one rule, if you're going to go against a TV, you have to see 100% black. And you have to do all this in fully lit environments because a TV can do it. Can't compete against something that you can't compete with. You can't. They could design all the most advanced ultra short throw projectors on the face of the planet. And if you don't have a proper screen, that projector is completely useless. And this is why I keep telling y'all. All these gray screens, not just with the paints, even gray screens, Elite Screens, DMPC, all those companies, all those gray screens, they're just there for the simple fact that people can't afford $3,000, $5,000 for gunmetal. That's what they're there for. It's a standard model. That's what it is. But the future is darker technology. That's why they keep designing these projectors with these insane amount of contrast levels, to try to fix the problem, but you can't fix it because the screen physically has to be black. So that's what I realized when I was going against gunmetal technology. No matter what screen paint we develop, we will conquer all gunmetal. Because again, gunmetal is gunmetal. It is. Doesn't have the ability to be able to pick up a 100% black level. If you can't see black, you can't see color. That's how it works. If that was the case, a white screen can see color perfectly, and it can't see color perfectly. White screen is the worst screen you could possibly have, as you can see behind the wall. So our next stage, because I have no challenge in gunmetal whatsoever, unless they bring out a black one, then I have something there, but there is none. So since there is none, then why in the world am I wasting my time developing technology to take out gunmetal when we've done it already? My next stage is a TV. That's a thing that has a 100% contrast embedded into it. That is the perfect competition for us. Our next stage is we just believe that at the end of the day that gunmetal, gray screens, and white screens are beneath our technology. We've been there, we've done it already. What gray screen is going to withstand against our technology? What gunmetal is going to withstand against our technology? Nothing. So I'm bored. I'm absolutely bored with it all. Pleaded for a certified black screen would be something to keep our interest, but we don't even get that at the end of the day. So you know what? We'll go to the next plateau. We'll go on toward TVs, because at least that at the end of the day we'll get a 100% challenge out of. But it can't be 1080p versus 1080p, because that's way too easy. There's no challenge there at all. We have to tip the odds and make it 4K versus 720p versus a 4K OLED. That is a challenge for me at the end of the day. That's something that keeps my interest. So I'm not into that whole ambient light environments and cheating the system and all that nonsense, fake performance, fake environments, all that crap. I'm not into that nonsense. I'm into a challenge. So what I'll show you, if we can scoot this over a bit, make this in a little bit more. Let me see. Once you, no, not like that. I need to bring it on to my menu. Mode. Settings. Zero brightness, zero contrast, zero color, everything is zero. Tint goes at its lowest at 1, it doesn't go into 0. That's it. What it comes down to, people, at the end of the day, what you got to understand, if you can't see 100 black, your product is obsolete. That's what it comes down to. Now, for those of you thinking that, well, just get a house paint and just do it. No, you can't do it at the end of the day. We showed you what happens if you take an everyday house paint. It doesn't read white light. Fabrics and all that stuff can't read white light. That's why we do those demonstrations against the screen called black versus black. It's not going to work. Only our technology has that capability. For anyone else that's making, well, we've already seen other products that we're trying to make black paints and they can't even get the color to come out correctly. So that right there is out the window. And the fake specifications, you got to be truthful on your specifications. You have to be. But as you can see with the glass technology, that contrast is boss. White screen.
Getting that for YouTube.
You see that surface I just laid there? You know what that is? That's everyday black paint. That's what that is.
Chocolate, 3
3 wafers, 2 layers of film, 1 incredible break.
It's called color balance. See, people got it mixed up. They think the higher the white level, the better the color. No, you describe the white screens. White screens are. White screens have the highest white level. So, again, that was the case. You know, companies like DMP, Supernova, all those big companies, none of us would be in business. If we didn't exist. Because white screen could do all the work. White screens can't see anything because they produce too high of a white level. You have to have a balance of contrast in it. Without the balance of contrast, it throws it off. So to have a gray screen with an extremely high white level, very, very bad. Because now you're leaning over into the territory of a white screen, and that's what you don't want. You still want to have a white level, yes, that is going to be needed for skin tones and bright, beautiful colors, but you have to have a balance. This is why anytime you watch me do any demonstration versus any certified screen, the first thing I ask for is a white screen, because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a tone. If I don't see that tone and I see that screen generate too high of a white level, it's already failed from the door. I've done it dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Told you. Gray screen generates too much white light, not enough black. Black surface generates too much black level, not enough white. No balance. Our technology, perfect balance. White surface sees absolutely nothing. So the theory of the higher the white levels, the better the color is completely bogus. Now, I don't know where it started from. I don't know who thought that was a good idea to begin with, but that whole entire rule is basically fabricated on nothingness. And these are the demonstrations I'll be doing at shows. It won't be so much talking about the technology, just showing the lies and just miscommunication of information that was given out properly. Same speech I'll be having here, I'll be having there, but it'll be in front of a lot of people that'll be watching that technology knockout. We're not going to do any certifieds because they'll get upset over that. They'll really get ticked over that one. But just basic, a great product. We're doing that show. Great products, black paint and white. We got to do the black anyway. We have to do black on black. Can't be at a show and not do the demonstration. Are you crazy? It's a good opportunity to have a little fun. I mean, I know a great product won't do this at a show. Oh, heck no. But we'll do it. You know why? Because then it shows that our technology is different from any other black surface or paint or whatever. It knocks out all that nonsense straight from the door. But that whole theory, and I don't know who started that, I got to look into that. I really got to dig into that. Who did start that dumb nonsense by saying that the brighter the screen, the brighter the color? No, you're washing out. And then if you introduce a projector, even at 1,000 lumens, you wash out. So if you introduce anything, 1,000 lumens is going to wash out. 500, we're not going to see enough. We can see much too much. But 1,000 lumens, you're going to wash out. So if you're going to wash out 1,000 lumens, anything above that, think how fast your rate's going to be, how fast you're going to wash out. But the new TV technology we have here, oh man, I'm telling you, this is going to, ultra short though, owners are going to freaking fall in love with this screen. But I just want to explain that to you about the whole theory about the white levels and all that stuff. That's bogus. That's not true. And I've been preaching that for a long time. If that's the case, someone would have matched one of our demonstrations at least by now. So if you use an everyday black paint, does it do the same? No, it doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't even work. This is what's called a black on black demonstration. Let's go into a little bit more. I'm gonna do one of these screens. I'm gonna have to destroy it, which I don't want to do, but I am going to destroy it. I'm gonna paint into the screen with black paint. It's gonna destroy the screen. Can't spray over it. It's not gonna work that way. This is a different kind of formula, so it won't work that way. It's just gonna destroy it. But you know, I want to do this at the show, so I'm gonna do a smaller one. And do this at the shows, just paint into the screen. Or have somebody else do it, have them dressed up like in a whole art outfit and just paint the screen with black paint and everything. Oh, that's gonna be freaking cool. We're gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff with this stuff. Black versus black demonstration, I love doing those. Any opportunity I got a chance to do one of these, I'm doing it. That's why I said is when I did the demonstration with the woman screaming, this is the one demonstration that they're terrified to do. And I said before, the door, if your screen is generating too high of a white level, you're in a lot of trouble. You can't see color. You can't, definitely not picking up contrast. Green screen. Oh. Screen's gotten worse. So, if it's all about white levels, what screen would be the more superior screen if it's all about white levels? It would be the white screen, right? There you go, because it pulls the highest white level. Not a gray screen, not a silver, not even a mid-gray. It would be a white screen. If that was the case, and the brighter your white levels are, the higher your colors, this would fall to a white screen. Why would it fall to a gray paint at the end of the day? I think the white levels on a gray screen would be much higher. So yeah, it would be much higher than a gray screen, wouldn't that? So if that's the theory, then how come the white screen is the most cheapest screen you could possibly buy and it puts out the most poorest picture you could ever see? There you go. It's kind of backwards, isn't it? So how does that work? So here we are with our glass technology. Gray screen, no match. Black paint, no match. White screen, no match. And certified, definitely no match. Let's go switch over to purple. So you see the story I told you about how white screens at one point were all the rage. And then the problem you had with the white screen is you had to be in this really dark environment. It still would wash out. Somewhere along the line, somebody came out with a gray product. They mixed black and gray paint together. They came with a product. We don't know who. Nobody knows who the first person who did it. Nobody knows. All I know is when I came into the scene, I was 5 years late. Yeah, that's when my joint was super loud. But anyway, so as you can see the difference in the color between the gray paint and the white, it's a big difference, right? That's what they were going for, a darker color, so they can produce a better contrast level. This is where the person who did the level where he said the screen pulls a high white level, they didn't want that. They wanted a darker color so they can produce a better color of purple, as you can see. If they went with a more brighter level, they would have ended up there. They were trying to do this at the end of the day, not that. So the last thing you want for a gray screen to have is a higher white level. You need it to have contrast, so that way it picks up better color. Want it to have. There's a plastic. See, in order to know the history of gray screen paint, you had to be there. Luckily, when I got into it, I was in the midst of it all. I wasn't in the very first beginning of it all. I was in the midst of it all, which I still learned a lot in the process. But every person that came on to AVS Forums, Projectors, Central, whatever different site you had, Facebook, whatever, people were talking back and forth with different gray paints and doing demonstrations and all at that particular time. It was never about white levels. That's what you're battling against a white screen. That was the battle against the white screen. That's why they put a little black into it. So that way it can add a higher contrast level. As long as they don't put too much black into it, because if you do, you end up in that world over there. See that screen right there, that black paint that doesn't pull correct, comes up too dark? That's what they don't want. They want it this. And then you had gunmetal technology pop up, and that pretty much changed everything. So you notice how I get on camera. I don't talk a lot of blah, blah, blah. I can show you it as I'm actually talking, because I can back it up. Done this dozens of times. So that's the reason why when they make screen paints, they mix in a little black, because the black is the toner. It allows you to adjust how dark you want the screen. If you make it too dark, your white levels suffer. The darker that screen gets, the more the white levels start to push, because there's nothing there in order for the screen to accept and receive white light. Black technology that we engineer has something in it to design to make it receive white light, and people have tried to figure it out and failed miserably trying to do it. But if you make everyday black paint, could we get the same reaction? No, because that's what happens if you use everyday black paint. It can't read white light. It's paint. That's all it is. All products are over the counter. They have to be. They have to be tested. They have to have safety material data sheets attached to it. They have to go through flash zones and testing. All have to. You can't take a raw element product and put it out on the market because it's not tested. It's not safe for the consumer. No one knows how it's going to react. Especially you can't be shipping this stuff in packages because who knows? It might not do well with temperatures. It might not do well with heat. It might not do well with cold. It can implode. It can explode. All kinds of stuff can go wrong. So this is why everything is literally over the counter. It has to be. The difference is what makes your product different than any other product over the counter. You can't show one demonstration, this, that, and the other, and go, oh, we're done. No, it has to be tons of demonstrations, which we have. And the last thing you want a gray screen to do is to generate a higher white level. Because if it does, it ends up like that. Higher the white level, harder time it's going to do to produce a contrast level. And already a gray screen has strikes against it because it can't produce contrast. It can't see it. I like this. This is the Dynasty Black paint. I love this stuff. I love using it. You can see how amazing the glass is. I'll give you a chance to show off the glass technology. We'll use it as an example of how powerful it is, but just to show you, why you don't want to go with higher white levels. Now, higher white levels means you're going there at the end of the day. I can make an ultra-light gray screen paint. It's very easy to do. It's pretty much just white paint, and you put in a high-grade white light silver. That's it. It's a half and half. That's all you got to do. It won't change or alter the white levels by too much, but it's still going to change. It's still going to be slightly darker than a white screen because a white screen can push out pure white. That's why. All right, so let's go to some contrast. Basic Starfield. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Just basic. So as you can see, lies you were told that a gray screen can generate a contrast level is virtually impossible. It produces much better than the white screen, yes, but 100% black you cannot do. And if that gray screen actually produces a higher white level, then it ends up like the white screen sitting over there, and that's something you don't want. You want to go in the other direction. You want to make it darker. That's where you want to go to. If you make it darker, then your white levels suffer. If your white levels suffer, then your color suffers. That's going to be a problem. You have to have an even tone in there to do it. And we're the only ones who knows what the tone looks like and how to do it. Everybody else can't figure it out. This is why gray screen. On top of that, who would do a gray glass anyway? You know how dumb that would be? You'd be going back to the old RCA TVs that are basically gray, the Xenas and Magnavox and all those. The Magnavox don't make TVs anymore? Where's the Xenas don't make TVs anymore? You remember the old gray tube TVs? That's what you're going back to. You can get the colors not even right. Other than that, getting back to my technology. But yeah. There's a gray screen can never replace a TV. Impossible. TVs don't have hang-ups like that. They really don't. Most of TV's gonna have hang-up on it, reception, but then again, if you're running streaming stuff, you're not gonna have that issue. Dead pixels? Yeah, they get dead pixels. Some people calibrate their TVs, stuff like that. It's enough form sites to know they do those things. You have to have a special TV for outside. They're very expensive. I think 27-inch TV, something like $60,000 or something like that. They're kind of expensive. Can you take this outside? Yeah, it's weatherproof. Take it outside, stick it on an ultra short though. I wouldn't advise doing the glass. I really wouldn't. Now if we use temper proof, oh my goodness, we can use Gorilla Glass. I forgot about that stuff. I need to research that stuff. We can make an outdoor version of this where we can use Gorilla Glass instead. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be super cool. All right, people. We're getting enough time here.
Is it time to talk to your doctor? Ask if the bottle is right for you.
Time for me to go. This technology will be out in 2024. That's when it'll be available. We will have sizes of, the glass will be 100 inches to 150 inches. I'm definitely getting 150 for myself. If I find I can get 180, I might do 180 customization. Anything over 150 is customization. But we're going to have these in 235.1s at 115, 114, or maybe 130 to 150. I decided on that one. But we are going to have the largest size at 138. Anything over that is customized. Glass is going to be a little different. It's not going to look like this. It's just a prototype, of course. It's going to be much thicker. It's going to be tempered proof. It's going to be heat resistant, cold resistant, all that good stuff at the end of the day. And it's going to be shatterproof. It's going to be a customized frame we're building around it, so basically it doesn't get chipped or damaged, and it's going to have a special backing because light has to transfer through it. So it's going to be interesting. Even the bracket system is going to be designed completely different. This is going to be, the glass is going to be a high-end screen. It's a bragger screen at the end of the day. The plastics, the fiberglass that we're designing, they have to be designed specially. Can't go to Home Depot, can't go to Lowe's and buy this stuff. This stuff has to be poured because there's going to be something added into the plastic or fiberglass to get it to generate. We can't tell you too much about that. I might have told you a little too much, but yeah, it's going to be something completely different. So the plastics are going to be really interesting. They're going to be designed for gamers and everything else. They're going to be front and rear technology. Some are going to be unicorns. Some's going to have live and technology attached to it. It's going to be sick. We're going to be designing for the gamers. We got a big plans for the hardcore gamers. Only light gamers. We don't care at the end of the day, which are casual. We got something crazy coming up for the gamers at the end of the day. We're going to have a website where you can go in and custom build your own screen. Flat JBL speakers, EL LED lights, all that cool stuff. And again, this is not going to cost you a ton of money at the end of the day. And it will have the technology to be able to compete with a TV. That's where we're going at in 2024. That's our new goal. To compete with the TV. What better challenge? And on top of the day, you don't have to worry about, man, if I win the lottery, maybe I can get one of those. Yeah, right, you don't have to go through that nonsense. You can afford it. Glass, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit more different. You know what I mean? These are going to come with 24 karat gold plating. They're going to come with laser edge design. So if you want your glass to have a kind of invisible kind of border, we can have custom laser edge for it. So it's going to be pretty sick. Either way, which way you want to go with it. Now, I do want my own motorized projection screen that I do want. That's going to take some time. I do have a nephew who is a engineer. He's actually an engineer. So I talked to him about it. So it's not something you can design overnight. It takes time to build these things. And then we have to get something called mechanical patent put in, because it's just not going to be, you know me at the end of the day, the kind of things I like to do. It's not going to be your normal projection screen. It's not. It's definitely not going to be your normal motorized screen. And again, key, it's going to be affordable, because I want to be able to have a product that it's going to be way cheaper than what's out on the market, but much more advanced. yes, this is going to drag me in court. I'm going to be going in court. I know what's coming. These big companies are going to drag me in and out of court, and the reason why is they're going to debunk my theories. That's what they're going to do. Just like the valve technology. When they came out, they lied, and they didn't tell people at the end of the day what their technology was, and they were challenged on it. And you know what, to your big company out there, I hope you do challenge me, because I'm going to embarrass the freaking daylights out of you in court. You're just going to make me even bigger than what I am already. Well, not big yet, but you know what I'm talking about when I get to that stage. So I welcome you to please take me to court and challenge my technology at the end of the day, and you will be greatly embarrassed. I trust you on that one. I'll tell you that one 100%. Give me the publicity, I'll take it. If they've watched me already and they know what kind of person I'm at the end of the day, they know better not to do it. But if you want to give me a little publicity, I'll take it. Y'all can sit back with a big slice of coffee cake and coffee, and you can sit there and watch the tons and hours of demonstrations that I put my technology through. This stuff right here is going to go through some really brutal testing. And if you want, I can take a sample of your product right in that courtroom and stick it against that technology and watch it turn into a white sheet of paper. How is that going to work for your business? That's what I said, just let sleeping dogs lie. But again, it's going to happen, and I'll tell you that. Because they're going to be cutting into their territory. Big companies don't like that. I heard somebody say, and I'm not saying it's possible, I'm not saying I'm putting out there, just have to worry about my well-being.
What's up, design?
Do you know who I serve at the end of the day?
Coming out from Adobe right here on
Something like
YouTube,
that.
August 16th. Some
care about
designers, artists, video.
I read a theory about the guy who basically, what was it, the car that ran on water. Anything you do that changes the system disrupts the system. And it causes people to be upset about it when you disrupt the system. You can stay quiet about it and just keep it hidden under a rock, or you can basically just show it off to the world. I'm the kind of person that shows it off to the world. At the end of the day, I don't fear man, I fear God. So the person who protects me at the end of the day, you need to fear. So that's why I don't worry. Whoever tries to come at me for this technology, I don't care at the end of the day, because you'll never make it, ever. Remember, men get so puffed up in their money and their power at the end of the day, they don't realize who's the real God. It's not you, it's God himself. And he decides up there while he's sitting on his throne that you don't wake up the next day. Guess what? You don't wake up the next day. It's interesting when you watch a person who has great wealth that's ready to pass on. He's going to die. There's nothing he can do to add 1 minute more to his life. All that money, all that power, and you can't even stop death. And that's when they realize how frail and weak they really are. All this time you walk upon the earth, puffed up chest, sticking your, and at the end of the day, you're nothing but a frail flame. You could be here today and gone tomorrow, just like that. God controls all that. And those who serve him are protected by him. So yeah, I know at the end of the day this is going to cause a ripple effect. A projection screen that competes with a TV, you know, that's going to be some crazy stuff at the end of the day. Good for the customers, bad for them. All right, people, I got much research to do. I got a lot of cracking books. Got to do some research on Gorilla Glass. You know, it's interesting that when we test out these different forms of glasses, because it's not going to be easy just buying a glass and do it. Now we have to test them out. We have to shatter these things, see how much pressure, what it takes. You know, at the end of the day, if I got to hire some of my little ones, they'll Matchbox cars or whatever it is, to see what it takes to crack a screen. When we're shipping these things, we have to have special plastic containers for them, so they have to be tested. Make sure these things are not going to crack. So if one of these things happen to crack or get damaged, or say somebody cracks the screen, slides it back into the box and said it happened, we had to show test results showing that no, that couldn't have happened. We done tests on it. That's why. But yeah, it was brought up. It was brought up a couple times. The people who I'm doing business with, my investors, made that comment a few times, but I ain't worried about that. I'll put my mark on this earth. And after that, when it's time for me to pass over and go into the next life, I'll be there. I'm good. Anyway, people, we have change coming. I can't wait. And it starts there. Gotta go, people. God bless.